Welcome back. You are still watching WBS Week in Focus. This week, the Muslim community celebrated Eid al-Adha, and the different leaders of the community had no sweet words for what is going on in Uganda. The titular head of the Muslim community in Uganda, Prince Kassim Nakibinge, launched a scorching attack towards the police force over the rampant brutality. Nakibinge reiterated that the police force is using excessive force while dispersing supporters of various aspiring politicians who are soliciting for votes from the public.
These unethical acts happened during former Premier Amama's visit in Jinja while conducting his consultative meetings. Addressing Muslims who had gathered at his residence, Nakibinge said that police needs to revise its way of conducting business when it comes to the citizens.
On the screens, I saw the manner in which the police forces dispersed people who had gathered to listen to some of the participants in these elections. Whatever the name of that gathering is immaterial, but the anger and the commitment in which they executed their mission forced me to have a rethink.
Kassim Nakibinge urged the police to invest those excessive powers into fighting lawbreakers.
That if only they had used all these energies to stop criminals in this country, then we wouldn't have any. I'd like to ask them to dedicate most of their time in trying to arrest criminals than dispersing people who have come to listen to a person.
However, Nakibinge urged Muslims to participate in the coming general elections. This as embattled Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago called for nationwide prayers ahead of 2016.
I'd like to ask all Ugandans to practice politics of fairness, politics of honesty, and equally urge all Ugandans to participate fully in the coming elections. Uganda has been around and it will always be around with or without elections, so there is no point in fighting one another and insulting the other.
It's a day we must all pray for our country. We need divine intervention in the crisis we are facing as a nation. You can see the tension gripping the nation right now. Everybody is on tension. There is anxiety in the country. You know, as we are heading towards elections, society, the whole nation is divided.
During the same prayers while at Nachivubo Stadium, Sheikh Ismail Mafumo urged believers to avoid political divisions and other immoral acts that would demean their status in society. Sheikh Mafumo advised Muslims to behave well in accordance with Allah's orders. We have the details. Muslims across the universe have today recited Eid al-Adha prayers in various places and mosques, while at Nachivubo Blue, prayers have been led by Sheikh Hamis Mafumo, who advised the believers to behave well in accordance with Allah's orders. Sheikh Mafumo has urged Muslims to avoid engaging in acts of embezzlement and illegal possession of property, wealth, and any other form of illegality. Sheikh Mafumo has also called upon Muslims to work hard to get away from poverty, which is often a source of discontent and paganism.
له شمولية إلم مبالا إمبالا سابا تبنا من نواهي الاقتصاد مبالا يبين فنا يبين فانغالا يبين كولمبسة يبين ديني ومسلم تبين مسلم وصار وساز ومن أبا مسلم أويو أي نتاكلا نورجو شنو تلاقي زبر النار وانو
Meanwhile, Dr. Haruna Jemba, the male warmer for Muslims in Uganda and the head of Jamiat Dawa Asalatia, has urged Muslims to confess their sins and repent alongside praying for those who went for Hijjah in Mecca.
Engombo y'omwaka guno nga bwe twakyogerako luli ey'okudda obujja mu ndowooza zammwe mu nneeyisa zammwe tuberenga eŋŋanda tuzigatta nnyo olwaleero kubanga eŋŋanda zisasise nnyo tuberenga ekyo nakyo tukyebalako nti omwaka guno alhamdulillah bw'oba olina muganda wo eyakusobya bw'oba olina muganda wo mwannyoko eyakukola kino taatawo maamawo bonna mu lunaku luno Omubaka Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam yatulambira ekyo.
Dr. Jemba has also cautioned Muslims to desist from political divisions and endorse unity, especially at the era of enormous political struggles in the country.
Njagala okubakuutira oba obalambira mu kaseera kano eggwanga liri mu kasatiro oba mu kakunizo k'ebyobufuzi. Mbategeeza kino nti eggwanga lino lyaffe ffenna n'abasiraamu nga mwe muli tulemenga kweyawula naddala mu bintu ebifaanana nga ebyobufuzi wabula abasiraamu nga munnaffe ow'ebyobufuzi gwenda biwano mugezeeko okwogera amazima.
The Deputy Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Kahatwib Mukuluwachika, while at Gedavi National Mosque at Old Kampala, tasked the government to speed up investigations into the various cases in which some Muslim leaders are implicated. Sheikh Kahatwib said the arrest of these Muslim leaders has created tension and divisions within the Muslim fraternity. Early this year, police arrested Muslim leaders belonging to the Tabligh sect faction, among them Yunus Kamoga, Motabu Kenya, Fahad Kayondo, Abudu Chikobila, Sula Semambo, and Segi Swamadu. These were arrested in connection with the recent murder of two prominent Muslim leaders. Preaching today at the Old Kampala Mosque, the Deputy Supreme Mufti Sheikh Kahatwib Mukuluwachika called on government to speed up investigations into their case.
Asking the government of Uganda to quicken or to be quick in finding, in making investigations so that the people, people in prison who have no case to answer, who are free, are freed.
The Muslim leader also cried out to the elections body to change polling day from Friday to any other weekday.
Because on Friday, we must go for prayers. This is a decree from Allah. We don't want to miss elections, nor do we want to miss prayers.
Meanwhile, Deputy Imam of Old Kampala Mosque, Imran Salih, has called upon parents to look after their children other than waiting for assistance from other people. And the head of the Tabligh sect in Uganda, Sheikh Haj Sulaiman Kaketo, called upon the Muslim fraternity to pray for peace and calm ahead of the 2016 polls. Kaketo stressed that politicians are making it a habit to fuel violence in the ongoing party primaries. Details in this report.
While presiding over Eid al-Duha prayers at Clock Tower in Kampala, Sheikh Sulaiman Kaketo said some politicians have made it a daily habit to fuel violence amongst Ugandans ahead of the 2016 polls.
Okulonda byobufuzi kuba omulange eri bannayuganda mwenna bireme kutujja ku mulamwa, bireme kutujja ku bigendererwa. Era abasiraamu mu busiraamu tebutukkiriza kwenyigira mu bikola bya kutabangula, bikolwa bya kwonoona bintu by'abantu.
Sheikh Kaketo says now is the right time for Muslims to come together and avoid fighting each other since it is against the Islamic religion.
Bw'obanga osala kulwa Allah. Allah yali ategeeza esswala zonna tibwe tubanga tusaala. Bw'obanga osala esswala oba zuhuri, asiri, magaribi, isha, subuhi, وسنن الرواتب قبلية بعدية صلاة الضحى كلكم زنا الصلاة صلاة الليل سارقوا الله.
Kaketo condemned gross unequal sharing of the national cake by the government. Kaketo says few Muslims hold powerful positions in government, unlike other religious faiths. He, however, urged Muslims to vie for political positions in the country, as this is one way for them to use and fight for their rights as Muslims. Kaketo condemned Muslims who sacrifice for small gods, as it is punishable by Allah.
But on a sad note, at least 717 people who were taking part in the Hajj pilgrimage were killed in a stampede near the Islamic holy city of Mecca. Another 863 people were injured in the incident at Mina, which occurred as 2 million pilgrims were taking part in the Hajj's last major rite. Pilgrims' courage on the Mina to throw stones at pillars representing the devil. Preparations for the Hajj were marred when a crane collapsed at Mecca's Grand Mosque this month, killing 109 people. It is the deadliest incident to occur during the Hajj in 25 years.
Pilgrims travel to Mina, a large valley about 5 kilometers from Mecca, during the Hajj to throw 7 stones at pillars called Jamarat, which represent the devil. The pillars stand at 3 spots where Satan is believed to have tempted the Prophet Abraham. The Saudi Civil Defense Directorate said in a statement that the stampede occurred at around 9 GMT at the junction of Street 204 and Street 223 as pilgrims walked toward the 5-story structure which surrounds the pillars known as Jamarat Bridge. The incident happened when there was a sudden increase in the number of pilgrims heading towards the pillars. Security personnel in the Saudi Red Crescent were immediately deployed to prevent more people heading towards the area. The Saudi Health Minister, Khalid Al-Falil, said the crash occurred because pilgrims failed to follow directions. The hundreds of wounded have been taken to 4 hospitals in the area by more than 220 rescue vehicles sent to the scene. The Civil Defense Directorate said the victims were of different nationalities without providing details.
We'll take a short break and return shortly.